So let's move on. And the next thing I would like to talk about is focus on what is working. We'll have different things about investing, training, coaching, testing, and do not reinvent the wheel. Let's directly start with investing. Invest in yourself, because if someone will take everything you have, you will still keep your knowledge. That means you can lose everything. You can lose money, your real estate, you can lose everything, but no one can take away your knowledge from you. And therefore invest in yourself, because that's the best value you could create in your life for your own. And how are you investing in yourself? Of course, there are people who directly jump all in and invest so much money in it. I definitely don't recommend it, because that's not the way I do this. I always start very slowly and easy. I go to YouTube, I go to Google, and just search for the topic I'm interested in. That's how I start. The next thing is I make a small investment. For example, I buy a book or a low budget course to really check, okay, how is this working, etc. And low budget courses, let's say, that are up to $250, so that are still low budget courses. And if you're still keen to it and say, okay, I'm still very interested in this topic, I can also make a bigger investment, because the very, very expensive courses, the high class courses, will start, let's say, actually at $1,000 to, I don't know, $10,000. They're really, really expensive, depends on the topic as well. But for Instagram, for example, you can start with YouTube and Google search. You can read books first, cost only, I don't know, $10 to $20, and then you start with a low budget course up to $250. And later on, if you think, okay, now I'm already grew a little bit, because you also need to think about, in the beginning, you don't need those actions like shown in the high class courses. The, let's say, low budget, I mean, $250 still not nothing, it's still money, but compared to the other courses, it's still much, much cheaper. And in the beginning, it delivers the value you need. Later on, if you, I don't know, have already 100,000 followers, you need to adjust your steps a little bit, and you need to focus on different things. And then you could start with a high class course, and they will start most probably at $1,000 up to, for Instagram, let's say $3,500. And after you did this, or while you're doing this, you can also go all in for coaching. But the coaching, Instagram coaches will take, let's say, the cheap ones will start at, let's say, $50, and it can directly go up to $250 per hour. I would say the average is around $100 per hour for coaching with the Instagram coach. Therefore, really, you need to think about, do you need this at your step already? Or is it better to invest in a coach later on, where you already grew a little bit and now you need to do certain steps, you don't really know how to do this, etc. Then a coach can help you. Therefore, invest in yourself is key to success. You can also do a training, and you can either take a training by your own, or you can go and take a training by a trainer, for example. But it's like in sports. If you have a trainer, it makes it much, much easier, because the trainer will take your hand and say, you know, run this way, do this, do this, do this, and will prepare you for the real game. And therefore, getting a trainer is definitely very, very helpful. But nevertheless, even if you do it by your own, you need to do it regular. Just think about if you're going to the gym, and if you work out 3 times per week, you will get better and better. If you now have a break of, let's say, 1 month, you will directly recognize it after you started again. You directly will recognize it. The ones who are doing this and who already took a break for, let's say, 1 month after they went to the gym 3 times per week, or even more often, you will know what I'm talking about. And everyone will get better. If you train, not everyone will make it to the top, but still, if you train, you will get better. And it's also up to you how good you want to be and how much you train. Of course, if you would like to have let's say a 6-pack, for example, and if you work out, I don't know, once per week, that's nice, but most probably it could be kind of difficult to get a 6-pack. If you work out 5 times per week, it will make it much easier to reach your goal. And if you do your training once per week, you might never reach the goal of a 6-pack. And if you do it if you work out 3 times per week, it's faster. And if you do it, let's say 5 to 6 times per week, you will maybe reach your goal in only a few weeks. And that's with everything in the world. Also with Instagram, if you would like to grow on Instagram, you need to train. If you don't train, you won't grow. And it's actually as easy as this. Coaching, just think about, do you know any professional in sports or singing or whatever who has not a coach? Let's say, for example, if you talk about very famous singers, they all have a vocal coach, so-called. If you talk about Cristiano Ronaldo, he has different coaches. He has a coach for food, he has a coach for athletics, he has a coach for mental mindset. They have even different coaches, not just one. Why is having a coach so important? Because a coach has often much more experience, practical as well as theoretical. And maybe he was in the practical part not even the best, but he knows it from the theoretical point of view much better. He was not just able to adjust it and apply it. For example, in soccer, you have very often that the coaches were not the best soccer players, but they are awesome coaches because they know exactly what to do. They were just not able to do this. And it's the same with everything in the world. Getting a coach will make it much easier. And also keep in mind, not every coach is the best for you. It's kind of similar with the courses I already said in the beginning of this section. If you start in the beginning, you do not need a coach which is perfect for Instagram accounts which has more than 100 or 1 million followers. That wouldn't make any sense. He's perfect in coaching those big accounts, but maybe he's not good in coaching you to start from scratch and create an account up to 50 or 100,000 followers. Maybe that's not the best coach for you. Then you need rather a coach who's perfect to start with you from scratch and will bring you to the 50k or 100k followers. And later on, this coach is not good anymore for you, then you need another coach. And that's something what I mean by coaching. Think about where you stand and what you need. Very important is as well testing. Try and error as always. If you're not trying it, you will not see if it's working or if it's not working. And it's so important. Will you lose money and time? Definitely yes. You will definitely lose money and also time. I'm not saying that if you will do the course, everything will work directly perfectly and you will directly, make millions of dollars with Instagram and you will directly reach 1 million accounts. That won't be the case. You will lose not much money, to be honest. Depends on you if you would like to run advertisements, but you will definitely also lose time because you need to invest a lot of time to try, and another one, try what is working for you and what not. Write it down, measure it with the Instagram analytics and see what is working. But will it help you in the long term? Definitely yes. Just don't give up. Because most of the people, they try and maybe try once again. They lost already some time, they maybe lost some money and say, I knew it, it's not working. That's not the mindset. That's definitely not the mindset. Work for it and you will make it. It's a long-term play. You need to think in the long run, not in the short one. Invest in yourself, invest your time, invest your money, and you will learn it, and it will pay off in the long term. It will pay off. And in the beginning, this is key. For example, if you run Instagram advertisements, if you create a business account, I see so many of my clients who started creating Instagram ads or Facebook ads and they say it's not working at all, so we will stop it, and maybe that's just not the best option for us. Bullshit. Complete bullshit. They just wrote down their target audience, made one audience and made one content and tried and it didn't work. Of course, I will tell you it won't work. If I start with a Facebook advertisement campaign, I run at least 50 different options with different contents, with different interests, with different niches to see which is converting the best. And of course, I will lose money at this time and I will also lose time. But if I know that this is the process, I calculate it in this way. And in the long term, it always pays off. It always pays off. And therefore, test it. Try it, and write it down and measure it. Very, very easy to see what is working and what is not. You do not need to reinvent the wheel. There's one very, very easy solution. Just check out the 10 big players in your niche. Check out what they are doing and write down everything. Because now you know your target audience, you know your target niche, and now you look for similar accounts. Look for similar accounts that are bigger than you. And again, you need to think about, you would like to grow steadily. So means if you're directly looking at the top ones, that might not be the best option. We saw the example of Suit Supply. They are already big. They do not need to have a very fancy biography with many keywords if they are not willing to grow anymore. You need to adjust your steps in certain parts of your part where you're staying in your Instagram life. Therefore, check out the 10 big players in your niche. Means, for example, let's say players between 50K, 100K, and maybe I would not go above 1 million follower, rather around 50 to 100K. See what they are doing, well. Write down the content, what content they are posting, write down the captions, write down the hashtags, write everything down they are doing, and see what is working for them and what is not. You can see it on the likes, on the comments, how many likes do they get, how many comments do they get, and there you can see what is working for them. And then make it similar. Do not just copy. Definitely don't copy just the post from them and post it on yours and post everything the same, like you just copy the captions. Don't do this. Definitely don't do this. But it will be very, very helpful for you to see what is working for them, because most probably if it's working for them and if they have the same target niche, it will also work for you. But of course, if you do not have a target niche and you see accounts you love, you like, and you just copy the same things they are doing, but your target niche is completely different, of course it won't work. And it will also don't work directly. It will pay off in the long run. Therefore, try it. And even if it's working for them, it doesn't mean 100% that it's also working for you, but in most of the cases it will work. And even if it's more than 50%, if 60% of the cases it's working well, then it's already worth to do it, because you have a much easier life to create content. Think about the big players and do not reinvent the wheel. And if you follow these things, you will know what is working and what is not working.